So we are planning to go down to Hyde Park. We are going to go down to some of the most beautiful museums in the world.
So you're a Bengaluru Huduga
Yes.
who came to UK 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
And were you always into this history and all of that?
Yeah.
So that's St. James Palace.
That's St. James's Palace, yeah. One of the older palaces before Buckingham Palace was built.
So Green Park has no flowers.
No flowers.
Loving this. Oh yeah, the fresh air. Mercato in Italian means market, and what's interesting is that it's housed in a former church. What I love is the delicate crunch of that puff pastry.
So this is the quail tart.
The quail tart.
Yes. Finished with the sesame raita on top, and that's your crab bonda, sir.
Oh, wonderful.
So what we are going to do is we are here in St. James's area. We are going into St. James's Park and we're going to walk into Blue Bridge. That apparently the story goes that that's where all the spies used to meet up from.
Really?
MI5, MI6, yeah. During the Cold War, of course.
Hi folks, welcome to a new vlog, and I'm joined by a fellow Bengaluru boy who's now of course made London his home for the last
13 years.
13 years. I'm with Arun Sagar,
Hello.
who watches our show and reached out to me on Instagram and has graciously offered to show me the sights around London, this part of London, on the Saturday morning.
Exactly. Cold Saturday morning, yeah.
On this cold Saturday morning. You know, the last few days that I've been here in London, I'm loving the city. I like its vibe. I know there's a sense of history, there's a certain character, the people. But I was wishing that there was somebody who could show me London from an insider's perspective. And when you desire something, you know, I always feel that there is a greater power that conspires to present a person before you, and that person to me today is Arun.
You give me too much credit, but I'll take
So what
it
are we
like
going to
that.
be doing today?
So we are planning to go down to Hyde Park. We are going to go down to some of the most beautiful museums in the world.
Okay.
And if time allows us, we are going to take the boat all the way to Greenwich, go across to the Eastern Hemisphere and come back in.
So as you can see, we have a busy day planned, and I'm really looking forward to this. Arun.
Likewise. I think this is the Scotland Yard, the police headquarters. Hence you see all the police cars and vans here.
Oh, okay, this is Scotland Yard.
Yeah. The new Scotland Yard. This is Ministry of Justice, as you can see.
Okay. This leads up to Parliament Square then.
Correct. So that's Westminster Abbey that you see.
Correct. So I saw one of their buildings yesterday opposite the Millennium Wheel.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a-
so that's the old Scotland Yard.
Oh, that's the old Scotland
Yeah.
Yard. Okay.
So that area that you went to, it's called the Whitehall. That's where all the government buildings are.
Okay. This is St. James's Park.
This is the Blue Bridge. Any British thriller that you see, I think Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy as well. I know they want to show the East meeting West. The Russians meeting people from here. They usually show around that side.
So they shoot around here?
They shoot around here.
So this is the Blue Bridge. That's Buckingham Palace and the monument there. So all this is technically owned by the Crown?
Yes. The Crown as a institute owns it.
Okay.
But the king doesn't own it himself. The king owns all this territory. All the money that he gets from this, all the different revenue streams over there,
Okay.
some of it needs to be shared with the government.
Alright, which goes back into the upkeep.
Yeah, not only the upkeep, but actually the government as well.
Okay, so it's a revenue source.
It's a revenue source for the government.
So you're a Bengaluru Huduga
Yes.
who came to UK 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
And were you always into this history and all of that?
Yeah, mostly yes. Used to do a lot of visits to Hampi, for example. That's one of my favorite places in the world. But yeah, there's a lot of history back in India, which is much more different and much more richer compared to here. But yeah, there's a lot more history is in front of you here. That's
In front of you here.
easily accessible.
When you said easily accessible, that's what I find about the history here. I mean, out there, I think the history that we have across the length and breadth of the country is so much more vaster, richer. There are so many more stories, but I just think that it's not as accessible or as, for want of a better word, packaged like this.
Definitely, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So yesterday I was at the changing of the guards and you know, you could just see the top of the...
But still, you felt like going in.
You felt like going in, that's right. Yeah, but then, you know, because we saw them walk from the barracks, we got a sense of, you know, it just felt majestic with them marching, the mounted police and all of that. And also I think the building of the infrastructure around it that makes it easy for people to go there, spend time, you know, the facilities, securities, you know, all of that, that makes a huge difference.
Definitely. So this is called the Pall Mall.
Okay.
This is where all the royal processions come.
Ah, okay.
That's the Buckingham Palace.
Correct.
So you go that, you look that way. You see those arches?
Yes.
That's called the Admiralty Arch. On the other side of the arch is the Trafalgar Square.
So what is the purpose of Buckingham Palace?
I mean, they call it houses of residence, but they have like hundreds of those houses of residence.
So do they stay here at all at some point?
Cases, sometimes they do. Right now they don't. Hounds of Windsor flag. That's when you know the king before the queen are in. If the Union Jack is flying, it means that they're not.
Ah, okay. So that's St. James Palace.
That's St. James's Palace, yeah. One of the older palaces before Buckingham Palace was built. All these are working quarters for the royals. So most of the establishments that you see on this road, even close to the palace for that matter, have the royal seal of approval. So Berry Bros is one example. There's a store, departmental store. You can buy a lot of things. Everything is very costly, but you can definitely get some good tea over there. Twinnings tea
okay.
has the royal seal of approval. So most of the establishments that you see here are...
So the royals approve it.
Correct.
So therefore they get the insignia. Okay. Yeah. And it also makes it expensive, I suppose.
Yeah, it's part of the branding, right? Part of the branding.
So if you want to get some goods approved by the royal household, well, this is a place to come, which is Pall Mall. Fantastic.
This happens to be officially London's smallest square. It's called Pickering Place. This is where the last proper official duel happened in London.
Oh, this is cool. I'm enjoying it already. So which museum are we off to now? Victoria?
And Albert Museum.
Okay.
It was set up by Albert, who happened to be the king consort of Queen Victoria.
Oh, okay.
So he had this philosophy that seeing beautiful things makes your life beautiful.
Ah, okay.
This particular museum is a living museum, and then they're still adding
more things to it. When I headed out to London, I never thought I'd be bicycling here in this city. The cycle's very smooth too, almost effortless with the gears. Yeah, this is so cool, man. When I set out from Bengaluru to London, I never thought I'd be bicycling, but this is fantastic. So, Green Park has no flowers.
No flowers. When the Queen asked the king to give a flower from this park, the most beautiful lady in the park, the king picked up a flower and gave it to one of the maids. I don't know which queen it was or which king it was, but it's a good story.
And so the Queen decreed there be no flowers in this.
And then there's a huge garden at the back. Where we are going towards is the edge of Hyde Park. It's called the Hyde Park corner.
Okay.
This is where Knightsbridge starts from, one of the most expensive squares on Monopoly.
Ah, okay. Also one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in London.
So every year in summer, they have something called naked bicycling ride
Okay.
in London. So all naked people bicycling cycle for almost 20-30 kilometers south of London to
Stark naked.
stark naked. Depends on how naked you want to get.
Okay.
But most of them are stark naked.
Really? Oh my goodness.
It's quite a sight, as you can
I
imagine.
can imagine.
It ends here. It's called the Wellington Arch.
In memory of the 5 million volunteers from the Indian subcontinent, Africa and the Caribbean who fought with Britain in the two world wars.
Now we merge onto the traffic.
Okay.
We go around and enter the park on the other side.
Oh, this is the Wellington Arch.
This is the start of Hyde Park.
Okay.
So there are a few interesting spots here, right? So Hyde Park is on the east and Kensington Gardens on the west.
So we're entering Hyde Park now.
Mud one?
Huh.
That's where all the horses come, even now.
Oh, really? So Hyde Park is the biggest park in London?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Richmond Park is the biggest park. in London.
Okay.
Hyde Park is, I think, one of the most central big parks in London.
Ah, okay. Loving this.
Right now the breathing space.
Oh, yeah. The fresh air that I'm drinking up quite greedily, actually. Brilliant. So for those who don't know, I used to cycle long distances many years ago. The longest that I've cycled is from Mumbai to Delhi, but many moons ago. But I guess cycling is one of those sports that you never ever forget. Of course, as I go uphill, I can definitely feel the fact that I'm not in my fittest of physicalities, but other than that, that's where these gears help.
On the left is called the Serpentine Gallery. Every year they invite some of the most well-renowned architects to set up this pavilion that you see here. Every year there's a different pavilion. So you get to see the best of architecture.
It's quite a bit to take in one morning, but I'm just enjoying the whole experience of cycling. Getting some good exercise after a good breakfast. So this is the Serpentine.
That's Hyde Park, this is Kensington Gardens.
Okay, so the Serpentine divides the two.
Kind of, I mean it goes through the two.
Why do you call it the Serpentine?
Because this
Okay, it's like a serpent. So this is a river.
No, this is a lake.
This is a lake again.
This is a free art gallery, Serpentine Gallery.
Okay. I'm thankful for these slopes that I encounter, downward that is. Gives you a bit of relief and allows you to catch your breath. So these horses are rented.
I'm sure there must be some renting place somewhere as well, but people who usually come here for horse riding.
They own the horses. So they would keep them in the stables there. Horses on one end, cycles here, and was that a Porsche? They just zoomed past us.
Those are Italian gardens. So this is where you have a huge contingent of parakeets,
Okay.
which are considered as like parrots, which are considered as pests in this country because they're not native to this land.
Okay.
There is a huge contingent over there. So if you take an apple or something and if you stand, they come and sit all over you.
Really? I think that's a beautiful thing here. They've kind of kept that, right?
Yeah.
The lung space. Timing for the cycling, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday. This is your lane, your dedicated cycling lane. I think if you love parks and greenery, this is
Kensington Palace on the right.
okay. So that's the residence of Prince William. That's Kensington Palace to our right. Thankfully this is a downhill and I think I'm enjoying this the most.
More than that.
So this is all Kensington. Kensington Road, going towards South Kensington. So that's where we're headed now, Royal Albert Hall.
The flat itself might cost around 3 or 4 million. One side, one flat here.
1 to 2 million for a basement apartment.
Much more than that, I'm sure.
More than that, which was once servant quarters. It used to be. Gives you a sense of how expensive London is as a city.
There's a Royal College of Musicians over there.
Okay.
So during the weekdays when you come here, you can listen to a lot of beautiful music or not so beautiful music, depending on which year.
So for them, it's like getting confidence, confidence building.
Oh, we can continue to use this, by the way. We have
Yeah?
most of the day.
Really?
Yeah, we can go.
Huh.
First 30 minutes is free.
Okay.
If you continue with the same cycle, the next 30 minutes is 165.
So this is a road and a footpath all in one. Therefore, they call this Revolution Road.
Revolutionary. No, it's called Exhibition Road because it's where all the exhibitions
But this was revolutionary back then.
back then when they created it.
So that's the Imperial College of London.
So you see this,
Huh.
the tile changes over there.
Yeah.
The reason it's there is for the visually impaired because they're usually walking around with
Oh,
the thing,
okay. So they
can
know.
feel the texture change.
Okay.
So they slow down.
See, that's one thing about a society that cares for everybody. Right? Inclusion. And when you talk about inclusiveness, that's what it is, right? To care for the least advantaged
Correct.
or the most disadvantaged.
Most disadvantage.
Right?
So here you come to this cluster of museums.
Huh.
You see Science Museum,
Huh.
Natural History Museum,
Huh.
Victoria and Albert Museum.
Okay.
So Victoria and Albert is all about culture, history and a bunch of other things which we'll go into and you'll see. Science Museum is beautiful, but if you're interested in science, it has amazing things, especially if you have small kids. They have an amazing toy collection.
Oh, okay.
Natural History Museum happens to be one of the most scenic and it's one of the oldest as well.
So where are we going now?
So let's go to V&A first, because
Oh.
I think that's the most interesting thing for you.
Okay.
And then we'll head quickly into Natural History Museum, just
Oh.
because it's a beautiful place. I think you'll
Sure.
get to see it.
So basically markets are like a range of different foods from across the world. So I can see some Portuguese streets there. There's a gozleme. These are from Turkey.